उसमें से एक बड़ा पंच निकलता है। अगर आप उसी लाइन में काम कर रहे हैं जिस लाइन में पढ़ाई किया, आप बच जाए। अगर आप उसी लाइन में पढ़ाई नहीं किया लेकिन उसमें काम करने लगा, अगर आप लीडर बने, मौका मिला तो मुझे मौका मिला, रीसेट किया, मैं थायराइड में पढ़ा। तो
Rahul, channel off. Can you hear me, everyone? Hello? Hello?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Mahua.
Yes, yes,
Thanks.
ma'am.
Maybe some issue has happened, so I just quickly connected my headphone. Thank you. All right. So,
Mhm.
welcome everyone to our Instructional Design Certificate webinar hosted by Henry Harvin Education. Can I quickly see everybody on the camera, please? Sohan, I request you. Yeah, thank you so much. You have already turned on the camera, and I request everybody to do so because it's always good to see others, whoever is there in the session, to know them better. It always helps. And I request the coordinator to make me the host, please. Could you please? Acha, you have made me the co-host. Thank you so much. Yes, so whenever we start any session, we always try to know each other, right? Can I quickly get a quick introduction from all of you in the chat box? Can I quickly
Yeah,
get a quick introduction? Yes, Mahua.
mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, just 1 minute. I think some issue with the camera. It's not allowing me to
Okay.
start. Maybe I need to.
No worries. No worries. But thank you so much that you confirmed. Um, would you like to start with your introduction, Mahua?
Yeah, sure. So basically, my name is Mahua Dhar,
Mm-hmm.
and by profession, I'm a teacher for last 13 and a half years.
Mm-hmm.
So my early career, I planned and I chose to work with, the airlines, the ground industry. So I worked there
Mm-hmm.
also a few years, but then for some reason, and also maybe I was looking for something else that I can do better. I realized that maybe I can be better in teaching, and maybe this is one of the easy line that I can, continue with age and also give uh, a proper path to the upcoming generation. So that took me to teaching, and I had been into school as a teacher, as a coordinator. Then currently I am teaching with the edX platforms to all the international students specifically. Also, I have India a
Mhm.
few batches, but mostly the international ones, which considers the US, Canada, Australia, Singapore, UK, Middle East, everything. So this is now my journey, and also along with teaching, I am with the company as well, doing small bits of you know the projects which requires designing or curriculum planning. So you what better you can make for the students. So this is how I thought, I have been into teaching for such a long year. So why not give this a new dimension and go to ID as, and, turn my career to a proper ID, because teaching I have gained a lot. I have given also there. So why not, go into a proper curriculum designing, either for the schools and for the corporates as well. This is how I came here.
Wow,
Thank
that's
you.
an extensive profile that you have. It's actually started with something and now you have landed up to a completely different profile, right? So are you enjoying
Yes.
this profile particularly?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm saying that are you enjoying this particular profile when you say that you create curriculum, you help students out. So do you enjoy it?
Yeah, of course, because it has some creativity over here, which is of my own, bringing, thinking about the person, you can call it as a client or a customer or the student,
Hmm.
thinking about their requirement and giving them something a better outcome, which will be a team's effort, which will be a creation, either individually if you're freelancing or you're working with a team. So, of course, that's something different, because when creativity is there, you don't feel monotonous about the job. It's not like, some the task is given. What I feel is like, a task is given and I need to complete it. But when some creation or creativity is involved in that, you start thinking better. And every time you're trying to do something, some new thing, learning from your mistakes, or maybe learning from the past projects that you have made, how can you make it better? Of course.
Correct, correct. So where do you stay, Mahua, if I may ask?
Yeah, of course. So basically, I'm from Calcutta. My born and brought up,
Mm.
my education, everything. But for the last 5 years, I've been traveling to different cities. Just my husband has a translator job. So this is my third city. Presently, I have resided in settled in Gurgaon
Okay,
for some
okay.
time. And let's see what comes next.
All right. So currently you are in Kolkata, right?
No, currently I'm in Gurgaon. I am from Kolkata. Currently, I'm
Currently in
residing
Gurgaon.
in Gurgaon. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. All right. So, and
Mhm.
if I may also ask you that what kind of challenges do you face when it comes to designing curriculum? I mean, although I know that you have been helping students and your clients, you
Mhm.
want to build up and you want to work with the corporates. But what are the kind of challenges that you are facing right now?
Challenges in terms of, let's say, the students who are in abroad. So basically their curriculum to a certain age, to the primary level, it's extensively easy, and the parents who are from here, they are the Indians, and they went there for their career purpose. They know the value of the education that they got in India and what they are getting for their children out there. So it's almost nothing, the according to the education they get over there. So to bringing a integrated curriculum that will have a balance, not too overwhelming for the international kids according to the school, or neither be something very similar what the school is doing. So kind of bridging a gap and trying to balance and come in between. so that they get the
Mm-hmm.
learning outcome according to the right age. Because
Mm-hmm.
students over
Mm-hmm.
there are, they know things or they know topics, if you compare with India, quite at a higher age. For
Correct.
example, if you ask, the to know the tables, so from grade one or maybe before, if parents are more cautious about it, so they will start from a little bit beforehand also. But over there,
Correct.
it starts like from maybe grade two, grade three, and that also very, very easy kind of things. In grade three, also they keep learning one digit or two-digit addition. So this is
Correct.
how a big gap is there. So something there is a quite a lot of challenges, and parents have different parents have different kind of requirements. So bringing something common in that, because we cannot do everything for everyone. That will be again a different
Absolutely.
issue. So some bringing something, the major problems, trying to solve that.
Correct. Correct. This is really interesting that you have actually identified, if you compare with the US curriculum, if you go to Australian curriculum, if you go to UK curriculum, and then if you come to Asian curriculum, it's all different. There are
Correct.
multiple things actually behind it. It's not that they are studying more or we are studying less or we don't know the values and they know more. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
based on that. It depends
It
on
based
so
on
many
country to
things.
country.
Exactly, so many things. The kind of challenges that India as a country is facing would be different to other countries, right?
Correct.
We have a lot of competition in the market, and everyone is talented. So there is the
Mm-hmm.
competition is a different level. It's not only about bringing the scopes to everyone, it is also about competition with the talents. So who is better than who? And
Absolutely.
everybody is good. So that is a different
Absolutely.
challenge altogether in India,
Yes, there are
right?
lots of pros
So
and cons. Over here, the children are, if you
absolutely
see, there are so many subjects. So even I also feel I
correct.
have gone through the same curriculum. It's quite overwhelming. Like, too many
Yes,
subjects, too many exams going, just
exactly.
going the bookish exam. So on the other hand, they get practical experience, not too much of books,
Absolutely.
keeping it light, and letting they allow the children to enjoy the the young
Absolutely.
age of the life. So everyone has their own perspective, and I respect all the decisions.
Correct.
That's good. Every a coin
Correct.
has both sides, so
Yes,
everything is
yes.
good.
All right. Thank you so much, Mahua, for
Yeah,
sharing this
thank
thought
you.
because this is very important. Whenever we are in a webinar, like how I have been watching out the webinars, um, we always try to talk about the course. This is what we offer, and that is how we do. That is it. But whenever I take any webinar, I try to understand where are we standing, so that whatever is the learning from the webinar, it stays with us. That is very important, right? And
Hmm.
how we can make it different, that is what would be there in the training, that is a secondary part. But whatever is it, identifying the problems, identifying the challenges that we are having currently, this identification is very very important whenever you want to become an instructional designer, or you are already in the journey of an instructional designer, or you are a seasoned and experienced instructional designer, because
Hmm.
instructional designing is a huge thing. It's not like I'm in the corporate and I have some tool specific knowledge or tool specific certification and I am the instructional designer. No, it is not like that. In the corporate, also depends on the company, depends on the industry. People work in a different way as an instructional designer. In school, if you see, teachers are the instructional designers, they do everything. If you look at a corporate firm, you can see a graphics designer is also working as an instructional designer. So instructional designer is a huge umbrella, and under that, there are so many small, small roles that we need to know. Now, when I'm talking about roles, I'm talking about this certain skill set. So that is it. We are going to understand today in this particular webinar that who are these instructional designers and why they are on high demand right now, and will be there in future as well, because now a different and a better education era has been started, right? It was there before COVID, but after COVID or during COVID, it got more prominent, and that is how the new education era has started, right? So that is what we are going to quickly understand. Before that, I would like to quickly go to Sohan. If you can help us understand with your profile and the kind of challenges that you are facing, or the the kind of expectations that you have from an instructional designer. If you can turn on your camera, that would be really great again.
Oh, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, camera. I'm just trying on that, like because I'm in, I
Okay,
think, low network area, so that could pose a
okay,
problem. So that's why I kept it off, basically.
okay, no worries. All right, yes, please go ahead.
Right, fine. I'm also a teacher. Like I happened, that is by chance I became a teacher.
Okay.
Okay. And let me clear it out. Like instruction designer, I'm not sure enough like whether I know the complete definition of what actually instructional designer is. So please be with me for that.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Uh, so I landed in, I mean, way back in 2012 when I joined a school, and I belong to a backward area like Gadchiroli, if you know the name. It's remote district in Maharashtra.
Yeah.
I come from a family. My father was a teacher. He is no more now.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of things I
Okay.
have gained from him. As I told, I came in this profession by chance, but it was a natural instinct, I think, that I had in me. Maybe genetically, I have got it from my father to teach, like sort of, right? So as I told you, I belong to a backward area. I mean, it is, and it was called that it's a backward area, but I don't think so that it is backward anymore, right? So I happened to join as a maths teacher, and my
Mm-hmm.
first class was seventh grade. It
Mm-hmm.
was a state board school at that time, and then happened to turn into a CBSE school and
Mm-hmm.
junior college later on. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
So I joined the school as a maths teacher. Eventually, I went on to teach English. Then in higher classes, I went on to teach physics, 11, 12. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and during that phase of time, I unfortunately, had got the chance to become vice principal over there. No.
Wow.
So, like, I worked in varied roles, looking after the students, looking after the students. I taught the students. I did not teach as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as well with the teachers and the management as well, to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that may not be the thing that is important here, but then because of that varied horizon that I got to work on, you know, when I went in as a teacher, when I was teaching maths, or to, for that matter, went through English and then physics and all that, one thing that I spotted was whatever lesson plans were being made, created by different teachers, they were actually person specific. I mean, every person has different way to take along the subject matter, and also, the same plan may not work with one student, or the same plan may work with the entire class. So, what you say that individual plan could have to be made, at
Mm-hmm.
times. I
Mm-hmm.
think every time we have to do that, right? So, on my personal level, I had to do that. Like, but when I'm
Correct.
doing certain things for a student, that may not work for other. So that way I thought, like, if I'm changing instruction for one student, and that is actually working for a number of students, a couple of students, but then what about the other students also?
Right.
So I started working on, like, whether I can have one thing that fits all. No, I started working on that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the journey,
That's
and
where you
basically
found
later,
the challenge, I'm
yes,
sure.
and then I started working on, like, what is this instructional design, and like I was doing it, I think, but I was
Mm-hmm.
not sure whether I was on the right track. And sometime back I had been to Henry Harvin's website and all that. So that is the reason I think I got the message today, and I got it quite late. And
Okay.
I mean, it might have received earlier, but I spotted it late.
Muted the new.
Eventually I registered and joined.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's all. I mean, if you, I mean, one thing, like, because I had been teaching varied subjects, so I came to know that for me, I mean, different participants may differ, even you may differ with my thoughts. It's the language that many a times, most of the times, becomes barrier to understand things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whatever the instructions are there, but it's the language basically that what I have found with my students, or maybe the profile of students that I have. No, that will be the case with these particular students. That's all from me.
Correct, correct. Yes. So firstly, thank you so much, Sohan, that you have shared these insights. I would tell you one thing, that you are from the teaching background is the best thing, because right now how the corporate is working, in every corporate people are looking for teachers who have a teaching background, or who have a training background, or who has designed something like, you know maybe some curricula that you have designed or developed, but not the content developers as the instructional designer. Even in the MNCs also, MNCs, those who are having the current ideology, the new managers, the new leaders, they are doing that. Startups are definitely hiring teachers as their instructional designers in their office or in their companies. Now, why is it happening? I'll tell you. I'll come to that point, Sohan. All right. So, can I quickly have one more person to quickly share the, idea about instructional design? I'll take one more, and then I will start with the information that we have to share with you. Can we go ahead with Anjali? Are you there? All right. Sagar, would you like to go ahead? Hello, Sagar, am I audible? Okay. All right. Fair enough. Um, Okay, Sagar, thank you so much. Would you like to go ahead and share your thoughts or your experience before I start with the information that we have to share? Okay, no worries. So, okay, Sagar, thank you so much for being here. It's totally fine. I understand that you are traveling. Okay, Alcia is saying, network seems to be a concern. I will not be able to continue. Okay, all right, no worries. Cool. So before we begin, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Urmi and I stay in Pune. I am having almost 14 years of experience in the domain of learning and development, teaching and education. I started my career, so I do share it with Sohan you, that I also started my career as a teacher. I was there into teaching for almost 7, 8 years, and then I transition myself from the education complete domain to the corporate domain. And right now I'm heading the learning and development entity in one of the companies based in Pune. And here at Henry Harvin, it's been a great journey for me. It's been 4 years that I'm associated here, and I'm helping people out to understand who are instructional designers, why instructional designers are important, and what is the future of education, of learning and development team, of training, um, till the time, like by 2030, because that is the objective that we have received from the Indian government and the global um, goals, you can say, considering the SDG goal, which is right to education to everyone, and educational development. So, what is it about instructional design? I want to share a quick experience of mine with you. So, when I started working as a teacher, what I started working as a toddler teacher, right? And then I moved to middle school, and then to high school, and then college, universities, and now into the corporate. So, when I started working as a toddler teacher, what I have understood is, if you give a small instruction to a child will follow you. Why? Because there is a relationship that matters. As a teacher, as a mentor, as a guide, as a trainer, as a coach, if you give instruction and if you make a good bond with your learners, they will follow it, because it is the expression they can see you. It is the expression that they share with you. It is a relationship that they share with you, and it is every day that they are interacting with you. It's like face to face communication. But if you see what happened during COVID, many of the students got completely distracted, disconnected. Many of the places were there where there was no education. And that is where we understood, okay, what if we start with at least online learning, online teaching, so that if not everyone, but at least somebody should be educated. Education should not stop, right? And that is where we understood that e-learning is also something that can take a substitute place of face-to-face learning, correct? And when actually COVID has gone, what we did, we made this particular thing into an industry. So right now you can see e-learning has become an industry. But this is not a new concept. So when I used to teach in the schools, we used to use certain technical, technological things like smart board, PPTs, and videos, pre-recorded videos, of course, like the kind of CDs or VCDs that we used to play, right? So those were also a part of e-learning because it was just using the electronics. You are using the electronics communication, but we were not able to identify that that can become an industry right now. We did not have that foresee or that kind of understanding because the situation was not like that. But now, if you see, there are so many places. There are countries, in fact, like South Africa, like interior parts of US, and some places of China. Of course, the other Asian countries like Cambodia or Malaysia, interior, I'm talking about. People are using only e-learning platforms just to educate people. Now, educate people means I'm not talking about students, I'm talking about the citizens, right? So, the whole idea is to deliver the education, to deliver the training in whatever ways it is possible. And that is where e-learning domain, e-learning industry has boomed because it is very easy to create content and keep it saved and use it multiple times. So as a physical teacher, as a physical trainer, it's my energy that I'm investing multiple times on the same thing again and again and again. But when e-learning comes, what has happened? The same video you're playing again and again and again without investing the same amount of energy on the same thing. You are investing. It doesn't mean that a teacher or a trainer is not required. It doesn't mean like that. It is like to channelizing the energy in a different way. And that is where a new word came up, which is instructional design. Now, this is a particular word which was used before COVID in the corporates. And then when the COVID hit, out of lot of instructions given by NCERT and the councils, we came to know about the word instructional design. And now, after that, when the new NEP came in 2020, this particular word was added to the NEP instructions, right? And in the corporate, we still use it. We are using it, but we used to use it in a different name, and now we are using it, and the profile has become vast, right? So I'll quickly pull up the uh, deck that we have, and we'll quickly know about what else do we have to share, right? Just give me one moment. Please to let me know once my screen is visible. I'm just sharing my screen. I request the coordinator, who is the host, to stop presenting the screen. Please to let me know, everybody, if you can see my screen.
Yeah, it's
Visible, no? Okay, I'll just put it on a slideshow mode. The slideshow is also visible, right?
yes.
Okay, great. All right, there is a message, I think. Okay, fine. Okay, so yes. So what is it talking about? It is talking about the 10 interesting facts. Now, there are so many facts. We have just identified 10, which we want to tell you quickly. First thing is, this instructional design particular word, it came during World War II. Now, why World War II? It is not only a generic term that we use in the arena of education, it is a term that is used by the army or the soldiers, right? Now, any idea why soldiers can use? Can you relate to it? Why this particular word is used by them? Any guesses? Any wild guess also?
Army soldiers, they are bound to follow the instructions without any questions.
Exactly, exactly.
Maybe
So if
queries
you
they can raise,
see,
but not questions sometimes.
right, right. So that is a very strict way of using this particular word. But in the education, we can't do that. We can't say that you can't ask me question, you have to listen to me. We can't do that, right? So this instructional design, this particular instructional word has come from that particular domain because we know that the army, the soldiers are the only profession where a single instruction needs to be followed. Because if there is a minor mistake, then there is a life risk, right? And there is no point of creativity at that moment. It is only critical thinking that is needed on a very risky, situation. Now, when it comes to education, it's a completely different thought process. We are taking the foundation thought process that it is needed to follow instruction, but we are not saying that any and every instruction needs to be followed without asking any question or without checking it. Why is it needed? Right? Or we can't modify it. We can always modify it. But then also, why is it needed? Because what happens when I'm talking to you right now, it is basically an IELTS session happening, which we call as instructor-led training, right? So it can also be happening in the schools, in the universities, physically, in the corporates, physically. And that time it is very easy for me to explain you one particular thing again and again and again with multiple examples in multiple language. So how Sohan said, that language may be a barrier. Yes, it can be a barrier. That is why what we do, there is a concept called as bilingual process. We have to speak in Hindi. We have to speak in a colloquial language or a local language so that the information is passed on. But when it comes to, and that is for a very particular audience, right? Like right now, I can see 6, 7 people have joined. So it's a uh, very small audience that I'm catering to, right? But what happens when it is, imagine that you are talking to a mass audience you have in front of you. There is no country you know, there is no place that you know, there is no religion that you know, and you have to talk to everybody in a very particular language. And that is where English as a common language we use, right? In India, if it is only to India, then we might be using Hindi also, right? So that is where instructional designers, when they actually create content and they have to share it with everybody, they always use a particular language. Now, language doesn't mean it has to be very hard or super duper. No, it doesn't need to be like that. It is a very basic language that we use, a very basic, simple level that we use, but the information should be in a right manner. Now, when we add information, what do we follow? There is a model that we follow that we call as ADDIE model, right? We start. So any information, let's say if I'm giving you any information, it doesn't mean that I'm just giving you because it is needed. It doesn't work like that. Whenever I'm giving any information, I always try to understand who are you. That is why I asked you. That is how Mahua you have shared your information. That is how Sohan you have shared your information. So that I can relate to you. What did I do? I did a quick analysis of my audience. It's very much needed. That is how we use ADDIE model. As you can see that ADDIE, I mean, most of you might be knowing that ADDIE, relates with analysis, then design, then development, then implementation, and then evaluation. It may sound very easy, but it is not easy at all when we actually start working on it, right? So analysis can happen in a various way. Design, now when we actually analyze it, like how Sohan told that, he started working on if there is something common that can fit to all, although it is not possible, but there can be something very common that can be fit to all, that he can use for multiple people or multiple students. That is where design comes into the picture. So when the analysis has happened, Sohan would be knowing, okay, these are my problem areas. And based on this, let's say 5 problem areas, we will be talking about the design. And then after that, I will take it ahead to development and then implementation and evaluation, right? So that is how one size can fit to all, but not for a long term or not for, considering the 360-degree angle. That is not possible. Very basic things can be possible. And that is what we do when we talk about different level of content. So level 1 can be like this, and level 2, level 3, level 4, we have it till level 4. Okay, so till level 4 we try to make it personalized. That is the word Sohan also mentioned. He tried to make it personalized, right? We try to make it personalized, modified, audience specific, client specific, and so on and so forth. Also level of content matters there. So therein we talk about ADDIE, and it is not only ADDIE model that we talk, there are multiple models also we need to know when we work in a different industry. Then what comes? Now, whenever we work as instructional designers, now understand the similarity of a teacher with an instructional designer, a trainer with the instructional designer. If you see the words like psychology, we need to know, everybody needs to know. Whenever you are also, let's say, if you are a mom and you are talking to your kid, you need to understand the psychology behind your kid. Otherwise, you cannot communicate. And to communicate nowadays, you need to be technologically upgraded. Otherwise, it has become very difficult to whoever you talk. So that is where your technology, um, tech savvy feature or your education helps you, but psychology and communication is something that we always look at uh, whenever we are hiring an instructional designer, especially the communication that can't be taught. Actually, communication is something, it's like an instinct how you're going to talk to people, but education can be earned, psychology can be understood, technology can be learned, and then can help to create effective learning experiences. So the way you are talking to a fast learner would be different when you are talking to a special child or a specially able learner, right? It matters, or a different community. It matters. That is where personalized learning experience is something that instruction designers create, and it is working successfully irrespective of domains. Everywhere it is helping. I would like to give quick example here. So last to last year, I was working with the US government for a project, and the project was that I had to create content for the teachers. And these teachers are from the interior uh, areas of the US. Now, the students whom they used to teach or they have to teach are the students who can be orphan, who can be maybe they're staying at a home, and their parents have gone outside for some job and all, and they have to stay at home. Now when they are at home, they need to be involved into something good, into something valuable. The audience was also the migrants kids as well, because if you see, this has become a problem in every country. It is only the 1 or 2% of people who are highly educated, 10% or 20% of people who are educated. Rest of the people are facing it difficult to get a job, and that is why the competition is there, right? Now, the people who are not or who are underprivileged, it has become one of the duties of the country heads to lead them, to give them right education. And that is where instructional designers are working like an angel. They're creating content in such a way, considering the language, the level of content, the level of um, complexity of the content or the education, whatever you say, whatever is the topic, especially with the value added topics I'm talking about. Academic topics are very easy to create, honestly speaking, because there is a lot of content is available in the market. You talk about biology, you talk about geography, you talk about any language, English, Marathi, Bengali, whatever. But if you look at the value added content, it's not there everywhere. If you talk about life skills content, it's not there everywhere. It's still new, and it is something that instructional designers are creating, because that can't be taught within a written language. It has to be created through videos, through podcast, through audio, through graphics, through animations, and that is what instructional designers are doing to make it very interactive, right? It is also there in India. If you look at the interiors, extreme interiors, people are very much interested into social media and Facebook. They're making reels. But if you ask them a question, they are failed to answer. Right? It is happening. Right. So what is the job then? What is it that we are doing? The learning experience designers are doing. They are working with the government, because government is running multiple projects. They are only hiring people on contract, and we are creating. We graphics designers are creating. We learning experience designers are creating. We teachers are creating content, pre-recorded, animated, podcast, audio, video, whatever you say, and government is floating it there. So then it becomes the job of the particular local educational hub to again float it, that at least they're channelizing the right kind of education. Through NGOs also it can be possible. So nowadays NGOs are also doing the same thing, right? You might be knowing about I Teach, right? You might be knowing about the other names. They're also doing the same thing. They are trying to get these videos. They're hiring instructional designers, making them understand these are the audience and this is the objective, and then instructional designers are creating content. That is how they have become very popular. That is why this job is in the demand right now, because this is not only the corporate's vision or mission, it is the government's mission and vision. It's the global mission and vision to create content in such a way, and content cannot be boring at the same time. Content cannot be same, like in every 6 months to 1 year, content is coming in a different way. The level of content is different. The level of data is changing. That is why the content is also changing. And that will be like continuous. Can you actually remove a school? You can't remove a school. If school is there, if university is there, till the time education is there, till the time people want to learn, instructional designers will be there. So this is like a very core job. That is why it has become a core job. If you see HR in a company, that can also be hired by a third party. But if you look at a trainer, can't be hired by a third party. A trainer has to be there in the organization because they understand people more. They talk to the talents more. They understand where they need to upskill themselves. They understand the learning gaps. So this is something that this department needs to be upskilled with. So these are the things that trainers also do, but then their profile becomes an instruction designer's profile. Okay, so instruction designers work as graphics designer, learning experience designer, trainer, sometimes subject matter experts, and so on and so forth. Curriculum designer, content designer, in a various way they work, right? And it's their job to make the content engaging and uh, relevant and extremely interactive, right? Now when I'm talking about making content interactive or giving training in a very interactive way, I'm talking about e-learning and online education platforms. This Zoom, if I take this Zoom as a platform, it is an online education platform, right? But if I ask you to think widely, to think out of the box, if I hire you, let's say I'm hiring you, I'm running this company, this Zoom company, okay? This is my product. And if I have to hire you as an instructional designer, what do you think from interactive content, from engaging people, from that perspective? What do you think an instructional designer can help me with to improve this platform? Any idea, anyone? Think about it. Look at this platform nicely and then tell me, if I have to hire you as a technology person, as an instructional designer, do you think there is any improvement needed on this platform? Any idea? You can type it in the chat box. You can take a minute's time and you can type it in the chat box. Any thoughts? We can have multiple filter. Yes. Thank you so much, Komal. We need filter, right? And it's not like once I have created and it is done. It needs continuous improvement. Correct? Maybe in 6 months, maybe in 1 year. It is totally fine. Anybody else? Anybody else wants to give it a try? Let us see how much technologically driven we are. We do watch a lot of social media videos nowadays. All right. If I were the person who would be hired as instructional designer, I think in Zoom we need a quick option, a very quick option, wherein it is not only, you know, raising hand, because that is something that we have. You can see there is an option called as, where is this option gone? Yeah, there is an option called as, I think to you it is showing raise hand option, right? You guys can see it, right? I can see it though. It's not visible to me, but it might be visible to you. So that is there, like raising hand is there. But what if I would like to add there one option wherein raising hand would not be there, but to add there another option as an extension, so that I can add, like, if I have to agree with you, I would be saying there that I want agree with you. So something like that. Anyone smiley. All the time we always raise our hand if we want to ask. But what if somebody is saying something and we want to say that yes, I agree with you, so that the person doesn't need to type it all the time? That option is not there. That we can do. It can be any smiley. They can think about it, right? Or there is a thumbs down option. So instead of thumbs down, because sometimes it becomes very negative for a person, whoever is sharing. Instead of thumbs down, what if there is something very positive way we can say, if that is possible? So these things can be improvised. That is something instructional designers also do. Thinking out loud, bringing changes to a platform. It can be product based, it can be graphic based, it can be any content. How many of you, so here comes my next question, how many of you have heard of the word nowadays is very trending, UI UX designer? Have you heard of it? Anyone?
Yes,
Yeah. Have you
that's correct.
researched? Did you check who are UX and UI designers? What is the full form? So UI stands for user interface. What is user interface? The one that you are seeing on the screen. The screen is big, the colors are visible, the font of your text is visible. You can actually find out, so all kind of options on Zoom. You can actually find out where to raise hand, where to type it, where to share screen, where to mute myself, where to unmute myself. These all option. Everything is user interface, right? So these are the features of this Zoom that becomes your user interface. They have put it in such a way so that you can use them, right? And UX stands for user experience. Now, user interface has a direct connection with UX, which is user experience. If I have to put there mute, unmute, what if there was no mute, unmute option? Do you think it would have been better for us to use the platform? No. If you see corporates and most of the community, teaching community especially, they use Google Meet. But if you see corporates, they use MS Teams. And if you see whenever people conduct any webinar, mostly they use Zoom. These are all different tools, different platforms, and everybody has their own UX experience. I mean, user experience. As a teacher, whenever I'm using Gmeet, which is Google Meet, it's easy for me. Why? Because I can directly connect it with Google Drive, Google Classroom, right? It's very easy for me. But if I see MS Teams, it's very much needed for the corporate because it has more in encryption into it. It is more secure platform. Again, it is connected with OneDrive and MS Office and blah blah. If I say Zoom, I don't need, whenever I'm conducting any webinar, I do not need any, cloud storage. So that, there I can save my content and all of it. I don't need, I'm just coming here and I'm delivering my content, I'm done. That is how UX matters. That is how different platform is used for different purpose. Now, as an instructional designer, what is my job? My job is to make the UI effective. My job is to identify how I can make the UX better. That is how instructional designers, again, it's a new skill set nowadays, and that is where we work as the, and we are expected to use the multimedia elements, interactive simulations, videos, animations, everything. That is how we become the UI UX designer. Okay, for education purpose. There are graphics designers also who work as UI UX designer. There are application developers also who work as UI UX designer. But for education and training purpose, here I'm working as the UI UX designer in this way, right? There are multiple facts. Now, what is the next fact that we have? As you can see, that this is a particular approach. This instructional designing is a particular approach that belongs to UDL, which is Universal Design for Learning. Everybody is following it. It's not only India who is following it. It's not only a particular domain people who are following. No, it's not like that. It's everybody is following so that it can be accessible to all. So if I'm creating a content today and I'm uploading it on any storage, any cloud storage, it can be accessible by everybody. Or let's if I'm creating a content and publishing it and it has to be accessible to every every audience should understand it, even if that person is a very talented person, or that person is specially able person, or that is a different community person, whoever it is, a different aged person, different gender person, whatever it is, everybody should access that content, and in every gadget it should be accessible. That is how we work on the accessibility. It's very important, right? We always check it. And then comes this storyboarding. Have you heard of the word storyboarding, everyone? It's very interesting. How many of you have done comic strips when you were a child? Comic strips. Have you done? Chacha Chaudhary, we stay in India, right? So have you read those kind of comic books? Chacha Chaudhary was there, one of them. Then Batman was there, right? Avengers, so many, yeah. Don't you think those were very interesting to us when we were a child? We used to watch it, right? There were, I remember there were so many comics that used to get published in the newspapers also. Sunday newspapers were like that. And we used to kind of try to draw the cartoon characters like Shin Chan or Nobita, this kind of characters I used to draw, right? So those were very interesting. Why those were very interesting? Because those were not the content that we had to mug up, right? Nobody likes to study hard. Everybody wants to study, wants to get certified, wants to have degree, but no hardcore learning, right? So that is where in instructional designers they make game-based learning. That is where a new concept is there called as gamification. We try to make it interactive, fun based. There should not be, overwhelming content, not even for the school children. We try to make it better. And that is where if nowadays you have seen there are so many companies who are bringing in AIs so that they can actually give it to the schools and the colleges. And school and college students do not need to have teachers all the time. Whenever they're solving any problem, they can use those AI and they can solve it themselves. Right? It's just a guide. Then teachers work as a guide. Right. So there, I think there's a school in Hyderabad. They have brought up one AI generated teacher in the classroom. Is a physical teacher who is also teaching, and at the same time if the teacher is unable to answer everybody, because that is what happens, it's a 40 minutes class or it's a 1 hour class, it's not possible for a teacher to answer everybody. So while the teacher is answering to someone, some child or a learner, another learner can also ask question to that AI generated, you know uh, robot kind of teacher. and can get the answers. That is how it is helping. That is how it is helping teachers as assistant teachers, right? These are the various ways how instruction designers work. Now, this teacher, the robot teacher, has all the answers because an instruction designer has written all instruction and put those code or put those content and information in that robot teacher. That is why the robot teacher is able to answer, right? So that is how instruction designers' jobs are booming and expanding, and they are working like amazing in any company, right? So this is how these are the interesting facts. There are many more to come, but yes, I will, as I have told you, that the this particular profile is emerging like anything, like maybe in the year of 2030, you can see it's all together. I mean, this is added to an university as a degree course because so far there is no university who is delivering this as a degree course. It is only till PGDM, only postgraduate diploma, right? So it has not become a degree course because this is a skill based course completely. It's a skill that is needed in any person, and trust me, it is learned skill. It is just you need to be very consistent. You have to give yourself time. You have to practice multiple level of content, multiple level of assignments, not only school based, not only education based. You need to take some real time issues, real time problems. Nowadays, we talk about sustainability, we talk about ESG, we talk about POSH. This kind of content actually you have to create so that you understand how instructional designers do. And that is something we at Henry Hub we provide, right? So what exactly we do? It's not mandatory. So now who can enroll for this particular course? Let me tell you, it can be anybody. It can be a 10th graduate also. I'm telling you, a 10th graduate can work as a designer in any company nowadays. Although it is written as new graduates, but I have seen how 10th graduates, 12th graduates, students, they are also working like this. They're working as freelancer. They are just taking up those assignments and they're trying to give it a try, because if you see nowadays kids are more tech savvy. They make better presentations than us because they know how to edit a video, they know how to edit an audio, they know how to host a podcast, they know all of those things. So that is how they do it. Their communication skill is more trending. They know, they're not hesitant about speaking in front of the camera. That is how they work, right? So that is how their journey as an instruction designer start. And of course, it comes always with a minimum educational degrees needed, of course, but still they can start like that. If you are a content developer, technical writer, facilitator, HR also. So HR department actually runs the training department in any company, right? But still HR department needs to know why these instructional designers are needed. They need to have that skill because when they are responsible to manage a talent and upskill a talent, they need to know how to work as an instructional designer so that actually they can help this talent to work as per the company values and company goals. It's very important, right? And it helps them to hire the right talent also. Yeah. And any professionals, of course, across the globe, they can always work on that. Now, what do we offer here? As you can see, I'll start from the membership part. Now, this 18-month core membership is very important because I'm telling you, I have seen, it's my experience with only 5 6 months of education doesn't help. It needs some time. It's a complete new skill set. It needs some time. So we offer gold membership. We offer career development forum here, industry validated curriculum, because I know how this curriculum is helpful. In fact, I whenever I give training to people or I mentor students here, I have seen how the curriculum has been emerged, and it is very important for everybody. I am not saying that everything is going to be here. It is not required. Everything is not required. But whatever is required in the industry to start working with, or to be in the work, or to develop yourself as instructional designer, everything is here. It will make you job ready, right? Of course, we have assistants. Of course, we have exclusive training sessions. So it is not only the training that we give, it is also beyond that. There are webinars we conduct. There are some sessions we conduct on the same thing continuously, right? So it's a framework that the team follows. We call it as a GOTA, and then they maintain it. It's a process. Now, to start as an instructional design in India, it starts with 3.5 lakhs in the education industry. But if you go to corporates, it's more than that. It is more than that, of course. But you need to have the certification first. You need to know certain technical things like how to create a PPT, interactive PPT. So again, coming back to the training, you need to be certified. If you're certified, then and you having certification as a value, it always has a value. Now, why does it have a value? I'm telling you. I'll come to this part first and then I'll go. So why do we have that value? You can see here, just a second. Yes, you can see here that we are NSDC certified. It's very important, right? We have the entrepreneurship mentorship. We have lot of mentors here. I'm one of them. We have free access to job portal, placement drives, Coleman membership, and we are also associated with multiple MBA colleges, right? Uh, i- in India and outside as well. We do provide you internships. So actually, when you are done with the training, we will be offering you a live internship wherein you are coming, you are doing, your project will be checked, you are going to create your portfolio, it will be corrected, and you are ready for your job. Nowadays, every company is hiring an instructional designer, so there is no scarcity of instruction designing job. That is for sure, right? But where you can place yourself in a better way, how you can negotiate your salary, how you can promote yourself as a successful and aspiring or a deserving candidate, that is something that you need to know. And through training, we tell you. We also have resume building. We also give you some mock sessions when you do the internship. We tell you everything. How to pitch yourself, how to market your skills, how to talk in the interview, everything we tell, right? We are also, if you want to upgrade your skill and your education, we are also associated with IIT Guwahati, right? So this is why we are separate. This is how we are giving you more value, right? You can see here we are like multinational global edtech company and we have lots of courses with us, lots of employees and everything. Now, if I come back to the curriculum, right? I'll just quickly come back. So in this curriculum, the first thing that we understand is even if you come from from the instructional design background, still we make you understand why do you need to start thinking as instructional designer from the day one itself. It's very important for you to know this thing. Very important. You have to start thinking yourself as instructional designer. So when you are instructional designer in a company or in a college or in a school, wherever, you are a technical person. Now you understand that you have to observe how a technical person works in a company. They are very strict, very focused, very, strict. That if this is a process I have to set up, I have to follow this. I'm not like all the time open. No, I'm not going to open because more features I bring in, it will make people confused. More, validations I'm going to take from multiple people, it will again create a mess. So not needed. You are the person who is going to take the charge of the entire project. You are going to work as project manager. You are the subject matter. You are going to work with the subject matter experts. You will be creating the curriculum. So you work as a designer, a project manager, a developer. But you need guidance at times for the content. Let's say if I'm an art student and if I don't know about maths or algorithm, I doesn't mean that I cannot create the content. I can create the content, but I need subject matter expert for that. So how to work with a team and how to do that, whom to do that, everything we tell you, right? Okay, I can see Anjali maybe by mistake, no? This annotation has happened on the screen. Now, the next one is instruction design basics, where we talk about the kind of models, which models are needed, why that model is needed, which company follows which model. So, I'm telling you, two of my students, I guess, yeah. So, you might be knowing there was a kind of, um, flood of interview happened at Accenture for instructional designers, wherein there was a particular kind of assignment they used to ask for, and it was a design document that they wanted. Now that is where something that we do it, and I'm telling you, it's a promise to you that we give you that exact pattern of design document during your internship. we give you and we make you ready for any kind of interview. It's a promise, because that is something that we do, right? That is something that we always provide, because we know that is the only level which is common in every company. Any company, you go to Infosys, you go to Barclays, you go to EY, you go to Accenture, you go to TCS, everywhere that is a particular step which is common. But there will be multiple real-time scenarios they are going to give you. That is fine. Scenarios can be anything. But when it comes to creating that particular document, it is something that we make you ready, right? Then coming to the understanding your audience, how you can create multiple learning opportunities, which tools to be used, what kind of elements you need to bring in. Now here, why this particular module is given, elements of a training course, because you need to understand first how a training happens. Then only you can become an instructional designer. So here we do a table kind of activity wherein we do a versus and a similarities between instructional design and training, and versus also to make you understand how it happens. In some companies, they don't follow analysis, they directly jump into accelerated learning. So there is altogether again a different model that we follow. We call it a SAM model. Especially in the IT companies, we directly get into accelerated learning. So how to create that kind of content? Sometimes you will be getting requirements like within 2-3 days you have to create the content. That is also something we do as an instructional designer. But how to do it? There you need a skeleton, right? Something as a foundation, you have to keep it ready. So that thing also we give you. The structure we also give you. You follow it, you make it modified. Whatever you want to do, you do it, you develop it. But the basic structure we give you, that this is something is ready made for you, please use it. We have training, evaluation, design. So here we talk about Kirkpatrick, ROI. These are the two main modules that we talk about, but there are other methods also that we cover. But mainly we follow on two things. One is Kirkpatrick's evaluation and one is ROI, which is return on investment, right? We also talk about course creation methodologies. So how you can create the course starting from, so there is something to do with how a marketing team needs to work with the instructional designers, or how instructional designers need to talk with the management, with the client, with multiple stakeholders, so that the course creation, because course creation journey doesn't mean you started working on a course. It doesn't work like that. There is a requirement that has to come, and whenever a requirement comes, it comes from a particular domain in a company. It can be from marketing, from internal stakeholder, from outside stakeholder. And there is a process that is followed. That is something instructional designers need to know, because this is related to business strategy of a company. Nowadays, companies are creating their own content and they're selling it out. So when they do it, it's a secondary income that you are going to generate for your company. That is how you become an asset for a company. So you do not belong to only L&D then, which is learning and development. You are also you belong to the marketing team then, because you're creating a product and marketing team would be marketing it and then sales team would be selling it out. So that is how you become an asset to the company. So you need to have that business mindset as well at the same time. So what are the things we need to keep in mind? That is also something we cover in this particular module. And then we have the designing instructionally sound e-learning courses. We tell you the tools, what kind of tools can be used. If you're taking a blended training, how to do that. If you're creating, so half maybe pre-recorded and half is on spot training you are giving. So how to do those things, how to make them also instructionally sound, how to do it, how to write the script, because we always write a script, how to make the storyboarding, how to prepare the Gagnis theory, because we follow that for developing, how to if you're working in any edtech, we call it as e-authoring tools also. So we work on that as well. So a lot of things we cover here, right? This particular two modules are very effective, right? So this is how we cover these 9 modules in 16 to 18 hours. All right. We make your job ready for this particular thing, and we make you understand how instruction designers work. Now, once your training is over, so I would like to quickly stop presenting my screen, and I want to quickly write it in the chat box so that you have the understanding. Just give me 1 second. I'll just put the slideshow off. 1 second. Huh? Yeah. So if I have to write it in the chat box or whiteboard, let me take a whiteboard. I think better. Please do let me know if you can see the whiteboard. coming, I think. Visible, no, to everyone? Is it visible to everybody? Yes, no, maybe. Hello. Yeah, thank you, Komal. Thanks. All right. So I'm just writing it here. So we call it as CIDC, which is Certificate in Instructional Design, right? And this goes for 16 hours. It goes to 18 hours also, depends on the majority of the people and how the training happens. Then what do we do after the training is done? So post training, there are so many features that we provide to you. Post training, what is it happening? Firstly, you have to go for the assessment, right? Now, once you're done with the assessment, what do we do? Within 14 to 15 days, we send you the certificate. There's a form that you fill, send you the certificate. Then what happens is the internship. We call it as live internship, wherein, as I said, we give you real-time assignments. One assignment will be given, you finish it. There will be sessions, there will be time given to you. You have to cover 40 hours. How to do it and everything your mentor will tell you, right? Once your internship is done, your portfolio will be corrected through this. And if your portfolio is corrected, I'm telling you, it is very important if you want to work as a freelancer. So where to go, how to get a freelancing option, these things will be covered in the internship. How you can get it, how to build your portfolio. So portfolio doesn't mean only your project. It means your profile corrections also. So we give you the guidance on that. Correct? Then what is it we do? We help you with the resume building. So there is a particular session happens. There are videos we have kept wherein you can watch it out and you can prepare and craft your resume. In the internship also we tell you. In the training also we tell you which are the keywords you have to keep, how to make it ATS friendly and all of it. Right? So resume building. I'll just quickly type. Yeah. Also help you with what kind of questions do come in the interview. So interview mock sessions, I can say. We help you with the questions. So whenever the topics are covered, the topics we tell you, this kind of questions can come in the interview, this kind of situations can come. If this is the situation, you have to understand or answer it in this way. Those things we guide you throughout, right? Uh, and how many number of, so these are the etc. And what is it you get now? Number of certificate, right? So certificate for training, you get one plus your internship. Now, if you see, the moment you get two certificates, it creates the credibility. So it shows that you have also given the industry internship also. So that will be counted as your experience at the same time. We do it during the evening time so that you don't have to leave your current job and you can work as intern also. Now this internship will not impact your working hours, will not impact your profession, because this is just an internship that you can add it in your resume. It will create the credibility, but not ruin or damage your workplace etiquette or something like that, right? So this is how we help you with the CIDC certification. And there are many more to come. This is only CIDC. We also run another course. Now, if I have to tell you quickly, because this is just a certification for 16 hours, there is one more course that we always do. We call it as PGID. So I'm just writing it as postgraduate diploma in instructional design, right? What do we do here? This particular course goes for 4.5 to 5 months, right? And so that is the total duration, correct? How many courses do we or how many modules do we cover in this? There are total 4 modules that we cover. Okay, what are the modules? Modules are the CIDC itself that goes for 16 hours, right? Then we have content writing. We call it as CDCW. It is digital content writing, that certificate in digital content writing, wherein we help you understand with how to do SEO writing or script writing and all of it. There, it's altogether a different module. You can always ask for the brochure from the support team to get more clarity. But we make you content writer, a certified content writer. At times, what happens in companies, instruction designers are also hired as content writer as a very basic level. Then they get the promotions with time, because directly hiring as instruction designer may sound challenging at times. So first they want to test you. whether you are eligible to become an instructional designer or not. So do you actually have the understanding of how to develop a content, how to do the content research, how to design a content, how to strategy, make a strategy for content development? That is what will make you understand in the CDCW, right? And nowadays everything is SEO based content writing. So if you don't know those things, it becomes very difficult for an instructional designer to create a trending content based topic, because in your content ultimately you're creating content, right? It can be written content, it can be animated content. In the animation also you have to write something. So those writing, the choice of words become very important when we talk about SEO writing, right? So this particular CTCW goes for 40 hours, correct? Then we have articulate storyline, articulate storyline 360. This goes for 40 hours. Now, this is an e-authoring tool. This is a compulsory tool that you need to know. You must learn. If you want to work as an instructional designer in the industry, you need to learn this particular tool. You have to be certified with this tool, because this is like a mother tool. If you know this tool, any tool you can work with. There are multiple tools. Companies do use multiple tools. This is the expensive one. So every company doesn't actually, buy this subscription, which is why they go for other tools. But this is something that you need to know, right? How to create it. It is extremely engaging tool. It helps you to create interactive tool. It's very interesting actually. Then we do Adobe Captivate. That is another tool. Now this is optional. Captivate, yeah. This is optional. If you want to go ahead with it, you can go, or else you can drop it. It is not mandatory, right? So this is how total 4 modules we follow. I'm writing it in short form, okay? Optional, right? This is how we follow. And this particular thing goes for, as I said, 4.5 to 5 months. Now, how do we do the batches? Batches are weekend batch, weekdays batch, whenever you are comfortable, take your time. Multiple batches we run, day in, day out. So whenever you are comfortable, go ahead with it, choose your trainer, and everything is visible on the LMS. So how the process happens, I'm telling you. Once you register, you will be given a designated LMS, login details. You log into your LMS, you can see everything is visible there. Multiple batches, multiple time, multiple trainers, content will be given to you, everything will be there. Now, how will you be oriented? There will be an orientation session so that you understand how the LMS runs, how you have to access the LMS. We provide you that information. Then we provide you the batch details. This is the day when this particular batch is going to be started. That is the day. This is the trainer. Whoever you want to choose, you go ahead with it and you start your batch. Every course you are completing, every course comes with an internship. So this CIDC, as I said, will be followed by internship. Similarly, CDCW as well. There is also
Yes.
internship. Here is also internship, right?
Uh,
Only Adobe Captivate doesn't have, because that is not a mandatory training. Okay. And every internship you are getting 1 month certificate. So if you register for this postgraduate diploma, how many certificates you will be getting? You will be getting postgraduate diploma, one umbrella certificate, then one CIDC training plus internship, CDCW training plus internship, article storyline training plus internship, and Adobe Captivate certification. So total you are getting 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 certificates you are getting. But one by one you will get. And the last certificate is a post graduation diploma, which is actually the most important thing. But gradually you finish one module, you get one certificate, and you can always upload it on your LinkedIn, on your social media status, so that people get to know you are certified, and immediately HRs or the recruiting agency can start connecting with you, because this is equally important. As I said, it works like a magic once you complete it. So this is all about from me on the course that we run, how we run, what facilities we give, and how do we do everything from my end. If there is any question, feel free to ask. I'll stop, this particular whiteboard. I'm just taking a screenshot and giving it to you so that you can refer to it in future when you are going to talk to people with our support team. You can refer to this. I've just posted it in the chat box. And yes, so that was all about it from my end. If anybody has any question, I am open to answer. We are here for another 5 minutes. Thank you,
Ye-
Mahua. I hope
Yes, sir.
I could make
Okay.
a value. Yes, Sagar. Yeah.
Yes, I have a little bit question. So you are saying that we'll get a internship certificate. So in the post
Yes.
graduation in instruction design, in there we will also get a instruction. I mean
Yes.
internship certificate.
Yes. You will be getting
Uh,
it.
so and what's the difference between? I mean, like if we take the post graduation course, so then the like CIDC the course is no need, right? Because it's already covered in that, right?
Yes. So CIDC
So
is just one module, it's just the level one, very basic level, right?
okay,
And that is just will help you to be certified with instructional design, and you will be job ready definitely. But what happens whenever the interview goes on, they will ask you for certain assignments to be completed, and
yes,
then it followed by multiple questions related to tools in the
yes,
second round. So in the second round, if you really need to answer, you need to practice on those tools, right? You need to have proper portfolio ready, because I know there are companies who would be liking to seeing your, samples, what you have created. Now, samples you cannot just show them, right? You need to create it on tool, and then only you can show it, which is why we
uh,
cover it in the post graduation, because it takes
okay.
time.
So
Hmm.
thing is that like I have already taken that course and have this 20th I am finishing that pro graduation my membership also. Like it's nearly like 10 months ago I have joined that course, but
Hmm.
I didn't got any. I have completed all the instruction design, storyline, everything course, but I didn't got a certificate for like internship kind of certificate. I didn't got. I just got
You
a
have to apply
certificate for
for it. Did
completion.
you apply for it?
I've requested certificate for like that thing, but I internship certificate was not showing. I mean, like internship certificates were not showing. I mean, like, that's
When
the
did you
thing.
complete your internship?
I mean, like they and first of all, the option is also not available. I think for me, I'm trying to search for the internship also, but it's not showing to me. But I have
Okay. Did you
course.
check the
Have
calendar? Did you check the
uh,
calendar?
yes, calendar. Like for we have some right there, mentorship, internship, and freelancing. All kind of like we get there only, right? In that page, right?
No, no, not like that, because see, I take care of the internships, and I don't think that I have met you. Had
Okay.
I been met you, I would have known you. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think
Actually, I
so.
have done my course 8 months ago completely. I have completed my
That is
all
why the
course.
issue.
Yes.
That is
Okay.
why the
So,
issue. Please
so
connect with the support team. You can also write to them from your LMS itself so that you get the right link. You are supposed to actually join the Telegram group where we always send you the webinar details. I mean, the internship details. If you still can't
okay. So
find, just open your LMS. If you go down, extreme down, you can see a calendar wherein
okay.
whenever any internship is happening, everything is mentioned. Just register from there.
Like
You
I'm
can
clicking
directly
on the
join from there.
subscription. I got only subscription when I'm going on to clicking on subscription, right? So I'm
Is
not
your
able to register.
subscription
It's just
over?
showing. Yes.
Is your subscription over?
No, no. It's going to be end in like most probably in 20 days.
Okay, okay. So in that regards, because right now I cannot see your LMS, I would
Okay.
say please connect with the support team, and internally I'll inform them also. We also have
Yes.
the coordinator here. I'm sure the coordinator is taking the note
Yes.
and will help you out. Because
Yes.
everything is there in the LMS. It's just the calendar you have to check. That's it.
Okay, and what
Okay.
about like, but the things related with instruction design course, I don't think so because I got a very good insightful at my time. Actually, I was trained by Arak. I think I it's still there. I think
Okay.
I have seen his watches in his current, but I didn't feel like I have got a very good hands on of it. You are mentioning that internship. What kind of internship is like? It's a real time internship or like it's just assignments
Yes.
we are completing and doing and everything.
No, it's a real time. I'm sorry.
So we will be working
It's a
for any
real
company,
time.
or like just we will be only is a kind of a workshop. Can you just give me a description about this internship kind of thing?
Yes, of
Hello?
course. So it's a real time internship. I always take it. And I
Okay.
give the exact real time assignments. So let's say
Okay.
someday I can give you an assignment from the Accenture, someday I can give you an assignment from the TCS, someday I can give you an assignment from any startup, right? And you have to complete that. Now, how to complete it, what to do it, everything will be guided to you in the internship. And once you complete it, then you can keep it as a portfolio for you, which you can show it in your interviews also.
So if I just continue like and extend my membership for next 1 year for the same course only, so
Hmm.
can I get all this benefit? I mean, like
Yes, you still
internship
have
and
the benefit. I'm not sure
yeah.
why you can't see those, which
Mm,
is why I'm saying that if you can connect with the support team. But yes, of course. And Sagar, I would request you to go for the courses once again because it's been 8 months, right?
yes,
Ideally,
yes,
what happens is once you learn, so first time it is always difficult.
yes.
Which is why we have the option you can do the course again. Which means if you have the subscription, during the subscription, you can repeat the course because
Okay.
every recording is there on your LMS and you can watch it out again and again and again.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't
So
mean that only once you have to do.
yeah,
Other
I know.
trainers' videos also you can watch. Did you try
Yeah,
that?
I have taken. Yeah, I already tried. I mean, I have
Acha,
taken the
good.
two different kinds of a trainers training from them, and that's the thing. Okay, and
Okay.
I think now
So till the time you are
recently you have added.
satisfied, you can continue doing the same. Till the
Okay,
time you have the subscription, continuously you can do the same. And doesn't mean that you have to go for it only once or twice. You can continue doing the same.
oh, okay, okay. And
Yeah.
I've tried to contact the team, but I didn't got much response. So can you ask them to
Yes,
contact
I
me?
will inform them. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
Don't worry
thank
about
you.
it. Most welcome.
And
Yeah.
yes, and I like last one is like thing is like I want to know is like uh if we I want a career guidance on my current like job role because I'm it's nearly like 3 months 3 years I'm working as a e-learning developer where I just work purely on the tools storyline everything. I don't work on instruction design kind of thing. That's the reason I have taken this course. So if I do say what are like options available and what is like growth in our I mean career and what is the last salary expectation we can have currently I can say I have like 7 per annum is like my 7 lakh CTC.
Where do
So
you
till
stay?
I stay in Hyderabad.
Okay. And 3 years of experience, you are saying, right?
Yes, yes. So in current is
Three
mine like
years is
7
fine.
CTC. Yes.
So,
So
7 is fine for 3 years. If
yes.
I'm
So
not sure whether you have graphics design expertise, do you have that?
no, no.
So
I
then
mean,
7
I
is
have
good.
like some tools on apps, but I can't say like I'm totally expert, but
You
I'm
can do one thing
uh,
then, Sagar. You can request for a career guidance. Separately will be given to you because that is also some option that we have. Or join the internship because in internship we discuss these things.
okay, okay,
Okay?
sure,
Yeah.
sure, sure.
All right.
Thank
All right. Thank you.
you.
All right. Anybody has any other question? Pratik, you have joined just now, I think, right? If I'm not wrong. Pratik, are you there? Okay. So any other question, anyone? You want to write it in the chat box? Yes, no, maybe. Great. So since you don't have any question, I believe that I have given you. Thank you so much, Sohan. So and I would like to see you. Yes, exactly, Sohan. I would like to see you on the other side. Please connect with your support team and please help them out with the kind of information that you need further. Would be able and happy to answer any kind of question of yours. Okay, till then, please take care. Bye bye, and all the best. Thank you, everybody.